The Sumerian civilization is one of the earliest and most influential civilizations in human history. It flourished in Mesopotamia, in present-day southern Iraq, from around 400 BC until the Babylonian conquest in 1750 BC. The Sumerians developed a sophisticated system of writing, irrigation, and urban planning, which laid the foundation for the development of subsequent civilizations in the region. Despite their importance, many aspects of Sumerian civilization remain shrouded in mystery. In this article, we will explore some of the key questions that continue to fascinate historians and archaeologists about the Sumerians, and look at some of the recent discoveries and insights that are helping to shed new light on this ancient culture. Who were the Sumerians? One of the biggest mysteries surrounding the Sumerian civilization is the question of their origins. We know that the Sumerians were not the first people to settle in Mesopotamia. There were earlier cultures such as the Ubaid and Uruk peoples, but it is unclear where the Sumerians came from and how they became dominant. The Sumerians themselves believed that they were created by the gods. According to their creation myth, the god Enki, also known as Ea, formed the first humans out of clay and breathed life into them. The Sumerians believed that the gods played an active role in their daily lives, and many aspects of their religion and culture were centered around the worship of these deities. Despite this mythological explanation, modern historians and archaeologists are still trying to piece together the true origins of the Sumerians. One theory is that they migrated to Mesopotamia from elsewhere, possibly from the Caucasus or Iran. Another possibility is that they were an indigenous people who gradually developed a distinct culture over time. What did the Sumerians believe? As mentioned above, the Sumerians were a deeply religious people who believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses. These deities played a central role in their lives, and many aspects of their culture, such as their architecture, art, and music, were designed to honor and please the gods. The Sumerians believed that the gods were responsible for all aspects of the natural world, including the weather, the fertility of the land, and the fortunes of individual humans. They also believed that the afterlife was a shadowy underworld ruled by the goddess Ereshkigal, where the souls of the dead were judged according to their deeds in life. One of the most important Sumerian religious practices was the construction of temples and shrines dedicated to the gods. These buildings were often massive, with towering ziggurats, stepped pyramids, reaching towards the sky. The ziggurat at Ur, for example, is one of the best preserved examples of Sumerian architecture, and gives us some idea of the scale and grandeur of their religious buildings. Another important aspect of Sumerian religion was the use of divination and omens. The Sumerians believed that the gods communicated with them through signs and symbols, and they developed a complex system of divination using various techniques such as examining the livers of sacrificed animals or studying the patterns of stars. What was Sumerian writing like? The Sumerians are famous for developing one of the world's first systems of writing. Their writing system was called cuneiform, which means wedge-shaped in Latin, and it was made by pressing a reed stylus into clay tablets. Cuneiform was a highly flexible and adaptable writing system that could be used to represent any language, and it remained in use in Mesopotamia for over 3,000 years. Over time, the system became increasingly complex and sophisticated, and was used to record everything from religious texts and mythology to commercial transactions and legal contracts. One of the key features of cuneiform is its use of pictograms and ideograms, which are symbols that represent objects, ideas, or sounds. For example, the symbol for water might be a simple drawing of a wave, while the symbol for God might be a stylized representation of a human figure. Cuneiform also allowed for the development of more abstract forms of writing, such as phonetic signs that represented sounds rather than objects. This was a major breakthrough in the history of writing, as it allowed for the creation of a truly phonetic alphabet, which could be used to represent any spoken language. Despite its many advantages, cuneiform was a difficult system to master, and it was only used by a small elite of scribes and scholars. This made it a powerful tool for maintaining social control, as those who could read and write cuneiform had access to knowledge and information that was denied to the general population. What were some of the key achievements of the Sumerians? Despite their many mysteries and unknowns, the Sumerians made a number of important contributions to human civilization. Some of their key achievements include the development of writing. As mentioned above, the Sumerians are credited with developing one of the world's first writing systems. This allowed for the creation of permanent records, which in turn made it possible to develop more complex and sophisticated forms of civilization. The invention of the wheel. The Sumerians were the first people to use the wheel for transportation and agriculture. This invention revolutionized human society, making it possible to transport goods more efficiently and to plow fields more easily. The development of irrigation systems. The Sumerians were also skilled engineers who built sophisticated systems of canals and ditches to irrigate their crops. This allowed them to farm the arid land of Mesopotamia and led to the development of large-scale agriculture. The creation of a system of laws. The Sumerians developed a complex legal system, with laws and regulations governing everything from property rights to marriage and divorce. This system was codified in the famous Code of Hammurabi, which is one of the earliest known legal codes in human history. The development of mathematics and astronomy. The Sumerians were skilled mathematicians and astronomers, and they made a number of important discoveries in these fields. For example, they developed a system of counting based on the number 60, which is why we still have 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour, and they were able to accurately predict the movements of the stars and planets. The Sumerian civilization remains a fascinating and enigmatic culture that continues to capture the imagination of historians, archaeologists, and ordinary people around the world. While many aspects of Sumerian life remain shrouded in mystery, recent discoveries and insights are helping to shed new light on this ancient culture. Whether we are marveling at their achievements in engineering and mathematics, exploring the intricacies of their legal system, or trying to understand the complex religious beliefs that shaped their lives, the Sumerians continue to inspire us with their ingenuity, creativity, and sheer resilience in the face of a harsh and unforgiving environment.